leave the stage. We'll make sure we welcome our next speaker with a big round of applause. Oh, there he is.
Good morning. How many of you want to have coffee? Bear with me for a little bit. You might remember, you might not remember me, but I'm running mobile networks for Nokia in the region, and one of the reasons I do that is that I have my own 5G product, my 5 daughters. And today I'm kind of a little bit inspired to talk from their side. It's still not coming, by the way, up the slides. 1 second. I'm here inspired by the COP28 as well to talk about the ESG and the sustainability that I think is extremely important. I'm actually looking for grandchildren, and I feel that my daughters are partially not ready for grandchildren because they look at the world as we are today and are concerned about the global warming. And the Nokia story on this one, I think, talks a lot. That's one of the reasons why I'm in the region to work with the let's say, better world. We say that there is no green without digital. And on the next 10-15 minutes, once we get the slides up, I'll be talking about what are we doing in Nokia. Some of you might have been in the COP28 and seen some of that, but we kind of take a little bit different path on this one. Nokia purpose today is that we create the technology. Few minutes. Okay, I keep talking, it's okay, no worries. So Nokia purpose today is that we create the technology that helps the world to act together. And what does it mean in practical terms is, of course, that we are not looking only the ESG strategy, which is, by the way, one of the 7 cornerstones of global strategy of Nokia. We are not only looking at it from the environmental point of view. We feel, of course, that the governance, the sustainability is extremely important elements into the strategy. So together with our customers during the COP28, we have also been working, finding solutions on how to do the world in a better way. Let me explain a couple of those statements in that sense. So one of the key topics on our ESG strategy is health and safety. When we talk about our subcontractors, when we talk about our customers, the most important thing for us is that our people, our customers' people, return home safe every evening. And I think that's one of the cornerstones that we always take in there, is that we are able to make sure that the procedures, the training, all these will ensure that the people are returning back home safely. Of course, when you look at it, it cannot be only about the health and safety, but we are also working on multiple levels on improving the governance of our business. We take extreme pleasure and honor on being 7 years in a row the most ethical company in the world. So Ethisphere has been selecting us to be really in the heart of good business practices, which I think are extremely important in the Middle East and Africa area. When you look at the circular economy, I'll talk a little bit later about what we are doing together with Unido and Orange Group. But it is an utmost pleasure for us also to say that we are able to reduce significantly the emissions by doing our circular processes. Our factory in Oulu, I don't know how many of you have visited our Oulu factory, but it is actually our NPI factory where we have been able to improve the productivity by 250%. So basically it's an entire Industry 4.0 model where we looked at the emissions, we looked at also the efficiencies on how to bring kind of a more efficient way of working. And then, of course, on our product side, I'll talk a little bit more about it, but in our AirScale portfolio, we have been able to and focus a lot on the energy efficiencies. I'll talk more about that in a moment. When you think about the ESG strategy of Nokia, I mentioned the purpose of Nokia being creating the technology that helps the world to act together. What we are doing there, of course, is that we are looking at the ESG being in the heart of our business. It is part of the idea that we are the solution as a technology and as an industry, by the way. So it's not only about Nokia, never. We want to be the trusted partner, and that's where we come to this point of being an ethical company, making sure that we do the right things. I will have, for example, later today a call with our kind of a compliance team looking at case immediately when we see any issues, we will take action. And I think we want to make sure that we do the right things, which I hope our customers will see as well. What it means that in our strategy we have the environmental aspects, the industrial digitalization, security and privacy. We want to look at the kind of digital divide. I'll talk about that in the last point. And of course have a responsible business. All of these are actually turned into the action. So the people who have been in the Nokia, not Nokia, but the Finland pavilion in COP28, Hatem was earlier today saying here how happy he was with the panel we had on Saturday morning at COP28. But it's all about making sure that we take action before words. And I think that's going to be what I will want to talk a little bit more about here as well. We all talk about the COP1 and COP2, but the COP3, of course, you can see here the Nokia view on this one. So more than 95% of our kind of emissions come from the use of the equipment that we do. So you can see there some of the information that we look at there, but it's of course extremely important to focus then on how to reduce basically the emissions that our customers use the equipment for. And I'll talk a little bit about the beyond that one, so handprint, I'll introduce that in a moment. But our focus on our portfolio is of course right now on this 95%, because we feel that on the COP1 and COP2 we have been able to already reduce significantly our own emissions. Just to give you some of the highlights on our portfolio, what we are doing on that side. So we have introduced industry-leading 5 nanometers, 7 nanometers, radios and baseband products. We call them the Habrok and Ponette. And with these we have examples of reducing power consumption. Basically we can push the same, double the capacity and reduce the energy by 30 to 40%. And I think this of course goes also into the microwave portfolio where we have the Wavens products, similar type of thinking on using the latest technology to have the better kind of a power and space. We are working on, of course, on the digital design tools, so the AI will be playing extremely important role in the future to further reduce the power. Each product comes with software features that reduce the power, sleep modes, etc., things that we do together with customers. And I've actually noticed that often the customers are not using all the software functionality that would be available. We have tools where I talk with the customers and say that maybe there is some more improvement that we could do. We have the SON, so you can look at on network level. We just and kind of made some press releases with our AVA together with Safaricom in Kenya, where we have been showing further reductions on when you look at on the network level. And as I said, on the circular products, we do a lot of things. I feel that Orange Group is actually quite advanced on that one and give some credit for them. They have been pushing us a lot with the Oscar program, making sure that the reuse of used remanufactured or refurbished products, as well as, of course, recycling on the component level. When you look at forward, I spoke a little bit about the concept of handprint and footprint. So footprint is a term that everybody kind of talks about, and that's of course where we were talking about that 95% saving possibility on the energy that we do on our products. But if you think about the handprint as an industry, we have a chance to 10 times at least more create a better environment when we think about the impact on the technology that we provide. From Nokia point of view, we of course work together with the customers, and I'll give you some more ideas on that one in the last presentation part. But when you look at things that we're doing ourselves, for example, automating NPO is extremely important in that sense to reduce our carbon dioxide, monoxide, the tons. So 850 tons we have been able to reduce globally by automating our NPO kind of drive tests. And I think I wanted to kind of run a little bit faster so you get to your coffee place, but I wanted to give some kudos for and of course also do in terms of hosting in the COP28. We were actually in the and booth a couple of days ago with the first ever Nokia Middle East ESG Customer Advisory Council. You can see some of the customers who joined, and actually there was from MTN, for example, a proposal that we should have also invited Ericsson and Huawei and other industry players, as this is a common theme. It's not about what and is doing or what Duo is doing or what Nokia is doing. The global warming, the issues we have are common for all of us. In the panel, we had also basically the UN Women Council talking about the work that we have been doing in empowering women. We did a program together with some of the customers at and basically having a program where we brought women around the world together to discuss about the leadership. Another example we discussed there was that this summer we had more than 200 students around the region joining our intensive programs. And I'll give you one example from Saudi, where I was very specifically happy to see that out of the 20 interns we had in Saudi, 16 were female. And I think while we talk about this, why it's so important, of course, I think diversity in any industry will help us to get more, better, faster solutions also for our environmental topics. Last but not least, I think the discussion, of course, was extremely important in that sense that the operators who were there came all with their own plans, sharing quite openly what are the things that they are doing in order to improve our kind of both footprint and handprint. We have said in the kind of advisory council that we will continue that, and that will basically continue now in the first quarter, first by discussing with each of the operators, and if there are operators in the room or our competition who would like to join, I'm more than happy to invite you and continue this extremely important work. We'll do it next time, most likely remotely somewhere in mid-February, but this was of course a great opportunity this week to bring customers together because most of the people were at COP28. From Nokia point of view, as I said, we believe and we hope that together with our industry we'll make, of course, little by little the world better by having the right governance, meaning having a right ethical approach for the business, by bringing their energy consumption down, and by bringing young, hopefully females, but also males from the region for leadership positions on the longer term. Thank you very much, and I hope that you enjoyed this short presentation, and now we can get some coffee and networking. Thank you.